I gotta say, Beatdown, I despise just how on the nose your meme was. That was honestly, I think, probably the most accurate analyst section that we've had in both weeks of broadcast. Couldn't have been better done. It's just tragic, honestly.
I'm just like that. What can I say?
Pull it up again, honestly. I think it deserves a second show, and if you still have it prepped, just for anybody who maybe didn't catch the pre-show for game number 1 and understand why we are doing the bridge analogy, because look how pristine the early game is. It's so good. There's like barely any traffic. You can tell it's efficient on and off ramps. And then we reach the moment every time.
Honestly, just tragic, but super well summed up. So congratulations, Beatdown, on that one. And hey,
do I get a prize?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Not getting roasted for a segment. All right.
I can't even promise that. I can't even promise that one.
All right, so
fine.
Sierra does not speak for me.
Okay, fair. That's just the American in you. You can roast on our other casters a little bit, because we're gonna do a little bit of cash or trash. So I got some opinions from Deserex and Cubby. Thank you to so much for letting me potentially make fun of you guys a little bit. And basically, I'm just gonna get you to say whether you think their opinion is cash or trash. And if you think it's trash, tell me why. Let's make it cash, you know?
Also, I just want to clarify, I don't think we need their permission to make fun of Cubby and Joshi ever. Just I want that to be a blanket statement and understood for all the broadcast crew. And Twitch chat, too, if you want to
I feel like it's just, all, like,
common courtesy,
whatever goes. I mean, if I'm taking pictures of, like, Mad Magical to throw in segments for Deserex and Cubby Laugh, it's all... all's fair. All's fair. All right. So our very first one that we're going to get, this one is from Deserex. FlyFam will win the FlyQuest Civil War. All hail General Goo.
Wait, I didn't even read the take. What was the take? FlyFam will win the FlyQuest Civil War. It's trash. It's trash. Sorry.
Yeah. That's kind of trash. I'm going to be honest.
Trash opinion?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them. They're a fun roster to follow, and there's a lot of promise, especially around players like Lunacia as a clear standout performer, even if there's reasons to be excited about everybody else on the roster too. But I feel like Masu's got the real narrative buff. Like, if we're talking about the Civil War, when they match up against each other, the hype around Masu is so high right now that even
actually,
if we're excited about Lunacia, yeah?
When is the Civil War? Is that next week?
I'm not sure, actually.
I'll let Kangas keep going on this point, and I'll go look this up, all right?
Okay, yeah. While Sierra grabs it, I'll just keep saying things. Spyrax, Yuji, I will. Okay, so actually on the FlyQuest Challengers, they also have a sub coming in. Kitong is still playing for them instead of Winsome.
Right.
I don't know if that swap will change by the time the Civil War happens between these two teams. That could play a factor, because I mean, if it's like literally the first day after, it might actually be tougher for FlyQuest Challengers to bring in a new player and catch them up to speed on what the rest of the team wants to be doing. But I'm still favoring FlyQuest Challengers. Sierra, did I buy you enough time, or do I need to keep going?
No, I'm really slow at navigating this site.
All right. Beatdown.
Yeah. I think it's next Monday, if I'm looking at this right.
Oh,
I
so
think
like
it's
a week today?
I think so. I could have done that wrong. Don't hold me to that, all right?
That's fine.
I'm trying my best out here.
I'll hold Eric to it instead and say it is trash. If it was later in the split, maybe. I could have seen a 1-1 angle.
It is next Monday.
It is next Monday.
Yep.
Well, then there it is. Sorry, Eric. Do better.
All right. Our next one, also from Eric, is going to be EGC will go 2-0 in every game in their first 2 weeks with Ryoma.
Ooh.
You
know what?
Okay,
now
let's look at
you
their
guys.
matchups. It's Fear. It's Fear. And it is Dignitas. That's pretty tough competition.
No,
that
I
means
think
that
they
Ryoma's
2-0. I think they'll 2-0 Fear. I agree with that.
That means Ryoma's going to 2-0 Insanity and Shoji.
That's the one.
That is
You know
tough.
what? I'll give them that. I think that's cash.
I low-key think it's a little cash,
It's
honestly.
Deserex. I can't.
I think
it's
a little
trash.
cash.
It's trash. There's no way I can agree with Deserix. Somebody's gonna clip it and then hold that against me for the rest of my life.
Kangas, you know what
Probably
you know how I feel about that? Can you do your camera to your trash again?
Okay, yes, I can do it. It's an easy click. Yes.
Why is the camera in the trash and not you? Let's let's pull this one. A little backwards, but I like that resolve for next week, please. Thank you.
Just rude. Just rude. What did I do, Sierra? Other than roast you on the first words that I said on the broadcast. What did I do?
That's enough. A little too unhinged. I'm trying to get some order here, all right? All right, our next cash or trash, we'll swap over to Cubby, so maybe there'll be a little less bias from you, Kangas. All right. FlyFam should have 3 wins at this point.
Oh,
yep. How much money do I have in my wallet?
Yeah, I know.
I got 820.
Where is it?
I got a 20. That's cash. That's cash right here. FlyFam, when you win, this is yours. Okay.
I have a Tim Hortons gift card. Is that acceptable? Because that's cash.
Honestly, that's worth even more.
I mean,
that's
it's
incredible.
$10 on it.
If they're getting American Timmies, then that's trash. Like, let's be real, all right?
It's Canadian Timmies. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I've never had a Canadian, but I have had American, and it was still
Have
good.
you
So
ever
that makes
been
me
here,
very excited
Kangas?
to try. I haven't.
You have to.
Haven't.
What is this?
I'll come visit sometime, Beatdown. We'll hang
Yeah,
out.
you
But
should.
to double down on this is why we have the meme of the early
Yeah.
mid game versus the late game FlyFam, because they've set themselves up for so many wins, and then it just feels like, again, young roster, new squad coming together, individual strong performers, but in the late game high pressure team fights, sometimes they aren't able to deliver. And because of that, they've given up a couple of games that were theirs to win. So, gotta say, hard to agree. It might even be like 4. 3 might not even be hot enough of a take.
Yeah, true.
Goodness. Well, hey, at least FlyFam can look forward to that $8 and then Timmy's gift card when they're able to figure out that late game, get a couple more wins under their belt. Our next one, Kevin, you really wanted to spice this up. So instead of just saying cash or trash, he's making you assign a cash value and a trash value here between wildcard drafts and Evil Genius's Challengers draft. So you got to pick which one is cash and which one's trash here.
Ooh. Okay. So the big thing being that, of course, Evil Genius's draft is exciting because usually it's around the jungle. Shaden piloting these hyper carries and then getting the team across the finish line. Wild card, like that. So we have to say which is cash. I think it's obviously wild card drafts are cash, right? They're way more exciting.
I agree.
Okay, can we define cash?
Just that the draft's cash.
If I would spend money to watch that draft, that's how I'm going to define it. And I would rather spend money to watch Garen top lanes. And
Really? No, I wouldn't. Never mind. That's all the confidence I need. It's trash.
Have you seen
Wildcard.
Moose Haters Garen? Do I need to
Trash.
pull it up again?
I
I
was
will
on
pull it
like
up
2
again.
or 3 I was on
Have
those
you
broadcasts.
seen this man's Garen?
How many times have we gone
Have you
back
seen
and replayed the Garen clips as well in like every piece of media, including
every
the
Because it's
the
easy
one that
content, Sierra. We're not creative. We need to use the low-hanging fruit. That's why.
I'm
Speak for
throwing that
yourself,
one at
Beatdown.
you. You were the one who wanted to include an American in the Canadian section because it was Moose Hater.
Hey,
so-
you thought of the moose joke. It was perfect.
Yeah, because the slow hanging fruit.
All right, I'm pulling up Evil Genius's drafts. I'm pulling up their pick ban history because I don't remember their drafts being particularly exciting, other
like,
than
what
just Shaden playing a lot of like carries.
But the carry's
going
been
down.
pretty good because he kind of popped
Yeah,
off
but
on the Viego, if I'm remembering correctly, yesterday. So
See, that's cash. You know what I
They
mean?
played Sejuani, Viego, Galio 2 games in a row, and Lissandra instead of Galio one of those games. Like,
Hey, Lissandra's exciting. Isn't that great?
it's just Shaden Carius. That's basically what these comps
Dude,
are telling me.
okay,
Exciting.
the EGC, it's Shaden and the sous chefs. Let them cook.
also, like you're saying, like, oh, it's just Shade and Carius, but like,
point.
do you not like that 3v1 last game? Like, that was cash.
Hey,
What kind of cash?
it is
Gosh.
fun. It's very exciting. And I hate that you're starting to convince me. Because I actually don't have a great point against that. That was pretty cash.
Oh no, Sierra's getting opinions on broadcast. Better
Oh
watch
no!
out, gang.
Am I gonna change my mind live on air? But I can't, like, Wildcard have such creative drafts because you never know where things are going. The fact that they flex around the Udyr between jungle top, the Zac between jungle top, like that's another reason why.
You know,
they're cool.
if I respected or liked Udyr as a champion, I think that would be pretty cash. But I hate him, therefore it's trash. I think it doesn't get any clearer than that. I don't see the problem here.
Hey, that's a fair rubric to grade by.
Do I hate the champion? I only hate like 5 champions out of like 160. So I feel like that's pretty fair.
Is Shaco on the list? Please
Of
tell me Shaco's
course,
on
he's
the list.
number 1 on the list.
All right.
All right.
Good.
All right. When we're going on the list of our least favorite champions, that is the time to 180. To our last cash or trash. And this one's pretty simple, pretty chill, and get us start to talking about the next game. Robbie Bob will we put on Gallo duty next game?
Okay.
I'm going to say cash because I don't think you ban Galio realistically.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's up, I think that it makes sense for them to go for.
Yeah.
Played it the last 4 games, or 3 games at this point, so it would be the 4th in a row.
Oh my God.
But
face.
Robbie Bob does still play other things. Like Lissandra, I think, is another one that fits a similar mold as the Galio that will enable Shaden to carry and pop off. And it's tough because, like, Robbie Bob, this is going to be his last game. On the broadcast on the
That's
team.
true.
As long as Ryoma is able to come in next week, that's just what we're assuming because he is here. Visa's issues resolved.
Yeah.
Ryoma should be playing next weekend. So with that, being the case, like, does Robbie Bob want to show off a little bit? Be like, hey, no, coach, like, pick me something that I can, pop off on.
That's
or
not
do you want to
how
end
it
on the
goes.
win?
Exactly.
I mean, you leave on a win. Like, hey, look what I was able to do with this roster. We're out here
Exactly.
taking
Why not
names.
both?
Like, if you know what, if both can happen, then yeah, let him have his cake and eat it too. I am down for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Let Robbie cook now. I think it's his turn.
Yes, like that LCS cake decorating segment. Cook. Let
I mean, I'm
Robbie
going to
do
be
that.
real. I only know a little bit about Robbie Bob, but I feel like he would suck specifically at that, so let's not do that. He puts ranch on everything.
Wait, he does what?
Yes!
Not
It's
everything.
like-
Surely
look-
not everything.
Look at me, Kangas.
Alright.
Like obviously not the dumb
Cut.
stuff like chocolate. but-
Cut.
Okay.
We have a draft. We have a game. You guys can settle this after broadcast. I don't care, but you guys
I
have
have
work
words
to do
for
right
Robbie
now.
Bob. I have words.
Later.
Only the second series, and we've already broken Sierra beat down. I think that's got to be a record at this
I
point,
think
right?
so. Like this duo needs to happen more often, obviously.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
clearly why I never was on the same show as Sierra last year. They knew it'd be
they just
chaotic.
knew.
Yep. But we are into game 2 now. Evil Geniuses Challengers, they are trying to put themselves in the best position they can before more of their original roster comes in for next week. Ending on a 2-0 would feel fantastic.
Oh.
6-4 before they even have the roster together. FlyFam, for them, it's all about showing that they can get across a finish line. They've already impressed us. We're already excited about this team. You just gotta get that one tiny last little bit. Just a little bit. Just a teensy little bit.
Right.
And then you can get another win.
And it's possible. We could see it happen. We do see the Galio ban come through. And I mean, with more thought, I actually think it makes a lot of sense just because a lot of the successful plays were Robbie Bob finding the CC, finding the taunts, making these fights so much easier. So I'm wondering if we will see the Lissandra, if we will see something a little different, maybe the Victor, something I know he's very comfortable and competent on.
I was almost expecting the Lissandra ban, but they go for the Rise ban instead.
Yeah, he's better, champ.
And Evil Geniuses Challengers lock in the Ashe first pick. So we're just going right back to the range matchup in the bot lane.
Yeah, except the roles are reversed, Kangas, because this time it's going to be Instinct and Sword
True.
who are running the Varisheimer, which, I mean, we saw the poke, we saw the zone control. It worked great for mobility and smoothie, so FlyFam are like, hey, yeah, no problem. Send that my way, and we'll see how they'll be able to pilot on that side. I wonder if we'll
And
see a
obviously
draft
we-
reversal.
Oh.
Nope, it's already ruined. I jinxed it. My bad, I guess.
So the Ashe Gen, yet again. This is our second time today seeing this. I still... Oh, come So he hovered this last game.
Yo.
We know it's not getting locked in, but Robbie, I would love for you to be able to play Zed in your last game on the Challengers League stream. That would be incredible if Coach allowed. But I'm going to guess that they went blind pick a Zed here.
I mean, that'd be so cool, though.
It would.
But it's going to be the Sedge. And, you know, it makes more sense. Maybe not the flashiest, but but it gets you wins. And you know what wins are, Kangas? Wins are cash.
They are pretty cash.
Yes.
There actually is more cash that you can get for placing well in this tournament. So that is even a factual statement.
Yeah.
The Wukong locked in for FlyFam here. Goo has piloted this before. If it can get onto the likes of the Ash Gen, can cause a lot of havoc. But other than that, it's pretty standard picks so far. This is one. It turned into a very stale meta. Like, we're not getting a lot of crazy stuff outside of, you know, a couple pocket picks and a couple specific players that will pilot very unique champs.
Right, and maybe this will be where we veer away from it once again. Although the Graves or Shaden isn't going to come through as that's taken out. I think he was a menace on the Rift, so it makes a lot of sense here. And I mean, we are continuing the trend, it seems, of trying to ban out as much of Shaden's champ pool as you can here. And I'm excited to see how this comp is going to shape out for FlyFam. I mean, you have good poke and range already from what we're seeing, and in Mobility and Smoothie's hands, though they didn't get pushed level 1, they had full control over that bottom side of the map. So what will Goo be able to do with that?
He has been playing through the far side lanes, top and bot, historically throughout their games. I think top lane counter pick would make sense for FlyFam. I'm expecting a mid laner locked in here. They ban away the Victor from Robbie Bob. There's a lot of mid lane bans in general in this draft. 5 total. Oh, but they blind picked the Renekton again. They're giving counter pick to mid.
Yeah, with the Renekton being open, I think this makes the most sense. Like, Lunacia, great in lane. If he runs it into the Cassante, I think he's going to be just fine with that, Kangas. So, I think it makes more sense. Give Blaze that last pick. Give him the chance to get the counter because you don't know what's going mid.
Notably, Kassadin is on the table.
That's true.
Kassadin made it through the ban phase. Very high priority champion. But does Evil Geniuses trust Robbie Bob on it? With a Kindred, maybe not. Because that means it's going to be sole piloting the Sejuani top lane. And that would give them a... They would kind of have to take some time to come online in the game. They might want something mid lane that can create a little more space for the Kindred to play around, have a little more priority to back up the Kindred, who can sometimes be in trouble early on in the game if you're getting invaded on Collapsed on. Lissandra, there we go.
I mean, there it is. It makes a lot of sense. It's another safe blind pick, I think, all things considered. And you do want, like you say, to make as much openings as possible for Shaden to be able to farm. Because, I mean, although Kindred can skirmish, there's a lot of playmaking ability, I believe, in this mid-jungle duo. You do want to farm things up. You do want to scale up to those later parts of the game. And speaking of scaling, you called it, Kangas. Blaze will be piloting the Kassadin. So now, FlyFam aren't going to have the same issue they had in the last game, where I think front to back wasn't really great for them overall, and late game was also not their friend. This time around, one pick from Blaze, I think, changes that a little bit.
I will say, even though Kassadin's very strong...
It's just me, you and me here. Let's go.
Just you and me. Twitch chat won't hear my takes at all, obviously.
They're not real. It's okay.
I kind of like the Lissandra to the Kassadin anyway. I mean, yeah, late game you're still going to be a menace, but if you jump in and Lissandra's held her ult, she just ults.
That's true.
Kindred burst, Jhin burst.
Really good point.
They can just blow you up. So even though it's strong, I think that Evil Genius Challengers, they still have their win condition. Let Shaden play the game. It's really that easy.
Kangas, the line was there. You could have said it.
Huh?
Let Shaden cook.
We've said that far too many times.
Yeah, but it's got to become like a hashtag or something, you know? We have to say it.
It was a funny joke when it was the meme and for like the first couple days, but once people our age started saying it, it stopped being as funny. And the problem is that people our age have continued to say it for like a week past when we were told to stop.
That's kind of true.
So, yeah, I'm going to let that one rest for a little bit longer here.
Fine.
You can have too much of a good thing. Be done. But now, into game number 2 here. Evil Geniuses Challengers hoping to end their weekend with a 2-0 FlyFam. Hoping to pick up another win and get a little bit further up the standings if possible. Let us know in chat not only who you're rooting for, but who you believe in. 50-50 right now. FLYF for FlyFam, EGC for Evil Geniuses Challengers.
Once again, last chance for this week for FlyFam to be able to get their second win, much like TLF in their previous series. They be able to turn it up here in the back half of the series to make it happen. I mean, with this draft, it's possible. With what Lunacia has been able to do, in those leads, excuse me, he's able to find. You gotta imagine that's where Gu's gonna be spending a good bit of his time in the early game, much like in game 1, especially with this Wukong, looking like he's gonna start on the bottom side of the map and path up to see if they can take Soul down early on.
It is Soul with no flash, so if Arctic Assault is ever used either aggressively or just used and then he walks back up, that's a long cooldown, level 1.
Yeah.
So Gu can try and punish Soul for not taking the Flash Summoner spell. I do like this. It means, though, that bottom lane, which is very important for the shove, should be favored towards Evil Geniuses.
Right, and Shaden will very much have an opportunity after his clear to be able to make a move towards the bottom side, and that's why this early pressure from Instinct and Sword I think is so important, because especially being on this side of the map, you need to be able to push the wave in, give Sword that opportunity or Instinct to place wards in that tribe rush, just to make sure, you know, the very simple path that Shaden can take is not taken, or at least in a way where you get surprised and then the Kindred gets early kills.
I mean, tweeting out a swear word and us throwing it up on broadcast. Everyone put a blur on that. But
okay, we're not saying
that's
it.
A cash
doesn't
take.
count.
That's a cash take right there. It has been very enjoyable watching Shaden. That last game on the Graves, giga carry. Enabled, of course, by Soul, by Robbie Bob, by everybody on the team backing him up. Can Shaden have the same level of performance? Actually, pathing top side. It was buff to buff. Okay, no. Was thinking about it. Goes back to the Raptors. That would have been an interesting path, though, to go from top to bot buff to back to top.
I mean, it's a path junglers take on occasion. That's something we could have seen. But realistically, pathing towards, I think, this bottom side is... Actually, no. Maybe you just called it.
Okay.
Shaden is actually going towards that top side. Maybe expecting that dive. You can see Lunacia is trading aggressively, trying to stack a wave. So maybe that's what Shaden's looking to do here.
Oh, but Shaden's actually...
Are you telling me he's going to steal the Raptors?
Yeah, he's going for the Raptors instead, which
That's
means
crazy.
Soul is all alone right now. Obviously, they know Gu's here, so does anybody come to help? They do not. No teleport from Robbie Bob. Soul is all alone, and he is punished for it. First blood picked up by Gu, and a successful dive. But look at mid lane. Blaze, meanwhile, got dove as well.
I mean, that's a really nice look from Shaden. This Kassadin is going to be a monster late game. Putting him in the dirt in the early game is exactly what you want to happen, Kangas. And I mean, if you look at the one-for-one trade, it's slightly more worth for Evil Geniuses.
Oh, this is disgusting. Shaden in a 1v2. He can't push too far. Yeah, the Heimer turrets do hurt in the early stages, but he buys so much space for the team. I can't believe that was the call. I definitely thought Shaden was going to hover top and try and counter gank, but let's take a look at his pathing.
I mean, it's a good read. You know what's happening top lane at this point isn't something you can stop. So you walk across, you take the long route. Robbie Bob's easily going to be able to get this wave in. So you just see it. The root comes through. All the damage coming out, even with the flash from Blaze, wasn't enough. Shaden was easily able to follow.
And well done from Robbie Bob yet again, setting up that play, aggressively trading onto Blaze very early. I mean, that's just kind of what Lissandra will do anyway, but still knowing the limits of the champion and then getting out with a sliver of a health bar. Deserx, that's 4 games in a row now. Shaden has carried and brutalized his way to double-digit kills.
I like the voice he did.
It's becoming the Shaden show.
It really is. Shaden, again, like a player that we are super excited about. Looked good last year, is honestly, even though it's only been 2 weeks, is looking even better so far this year. And when the full roster of this EGC team ends up coming to fruition, imagine what they are going to look like. Already 5-4, looking to get 6-4.
The thing is, they could look different, obviously, but we'll get back to that point later because Shaden is on the screen. And when Shaden's on the screen, we got to start talking about him because he's looking for another dive. Lunacia. This time the one in trouble. No ultimate, no flash. Soul goes in, tanks up the turret aggro, stunned under turret, will be traded. But I think that's mission accomplished for Evil Geniuses. Operation Feed Shaden, fully under effect.
That's right, you get the wave in. Lunacia just lose out a little bit on gold and farm. And you know what else, Kangas? Shaden picks up another mark. That's 2 for 2 now, off the early plays that he's been making. We know the big buff for Kindred starts at 4, and then every 3 you get after that. And already at 6 minutes. I mean, that feels good if you're a Kindred player.
Wait, what's the current stack at? I actually didn't catch it.
2. It's at 2.
That Oof, yep, there you go. Two stacks, pre-6 minutes. On track to get to that upgrade. Definitely by the second dragon fight. Very early for a Kindred here. Wondering where the next one's going to spawn, because they could look for an invade. That's definitely something that they have set up, especially with mid lane right now. Priority for invades of the Kindred. Something I was talking about in pick and ban. A reason why they wouldn't have gone for the Kassadin themselves and instead let FLYF pick it up. And Blaze can't really do much to prevent that kind of stuff. But okay, it's on the top scuttle. So Goo does deny this one.
So that is something they're able to take away secure for themselves here. And I think just we've spent a good bit of time talking about Robbie Bob, and I think we got to give some props over to Mobility too. Came on as a sub originally, from my understanding. Now, Mobility is going to be the starting bot later for Evil Genius Challengers.
Oh.
And whoa, wait a second.
Well, I love the idea of talking about Mobility, but we do got to talk about Robbie Bob again. He did just get a solo kill on his lane opponent. Again, the last game of this player in this tournament. And what a way to go out. This is an incredible performance.
Agreed. We'll see how he's going to be able to keep this one up. Now, Blaze on the Kassadin, looking to scale. You find yourself 0-2. I mean, of course, if the game stalls out long enough, you will still, as Magical says, the Doomsday Clock will count down to 0. But the longer you extend that clock, the more windows you have to play this game how you want to. And so far, even though FLYF, they get kills back, they get answers back, Evil Geniuses, they're getting everything they want in this early game. The big damage dealers are getting the gold, namely Shaden and Robin.
Ooh, stun lands. Smoothie walks a little too far forward,
No
and the Chain of
way.
Corruption lands as well. There's no cleanse. That's flash out of Mobility.
Wow, really nice look from Sword using both summoners to secure that kill. And they get the summoners out of this Jhin as well. But we're going to take a look at the replay. Here's Blaze. He has level 6. The Rift Walk is there. But as soon as the silence is expired, I think this is where Robbie Bob... Oh, right after the Rift Walk. That's calculated. He was looking for that.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a claw play, but just the
Me too.
instant flash stun onto Blaze. And he even got the magic shield down earlier in the trade, so he didn't have to worry about that. Really well done.
And it just... At this point, you have so much pressure in this lane. Smoothie is in the area watching for this exact play from Goo. Now you can start the Rift Herald. And we probably are going to see a scrap. It's worth noting Goo is level 6.
Okay. That is an early ult from Robbie Bob, keeping himself alive. And Goo
Oh my!
just instantly blown up. A lot of burst damage coming in from Evil Geniuses, and they will get the Herald.
A lot of CC utility in EGC's comp, and it's just that easy. Really nice Frozen Tomb from Robbie Bob. Saves his life. And it means that you're easily able to take down this Wukong. Secure the Rift Herald means more gold, more snowball potential. And it's looking like EGC not even giving FLYF the chance to be able to attempt building a bridge in this game too. They're looking to rampage through FLYF's hopes and dreams here in game 2.
Evil Geniuses, this time with the early lead. Way less stress. They don't have to worry about losing a big fight at an objective when you're behind in gold. They just got to set up plays like this. They saw Goo there. Robbie Bob, instant reaction with his self-ultimate, keeping himself alive with the Frozen Tomb. And then Goo, he doesn't have 2 clones. He's only got the 1. So once you lock down in the real form, you are dead.
Right. Now, play that game. Where's Rift Herald going to drop? What turret is Shelly going to try and attack? You got to imagine. I mean, it's wherever. Oh, hold on.
Another setup from Evil Geniuses. I don't think anyone dies here.
No, probably not. Get a nice little bit of HB trade. Might be able to allow you to push up a little bit, especially because Sword, not level 6. Instinct, already used the Chain of Corruption off screen. But ultimately, not a whole lot to really work for here. I want to take a look at the gold differences, though, just to see, in particular, what mid and jungle for the side of Evil Geniuses have been able to do so far. And there you go. Shaden a 2-0-1. Up 600 gold. And it's Robbie Bob, actually, who's up almost 1,000. Off the back of that early gank coming through here.
Not exactly what I was expecting. Top lane is also holding on to a lead based on the early first blood, but now we get FLYF's response bot lane. The Heimerdinger ultimate E does not land. Bouncing grenade goes a little wide, but it bought time, as now they will surround Mobility. And that is a kill to Instinct.
So that's something. This time around, it's bot lane where Goo is making a lot of plays happen.
Shaden's got flash.
I think they know what's going on here. With Robbie Bob missing, they're like, oh, okay, we're in a lot of danger. So why don't we all just back right off here? But it is funny to see how things kind of shift up from how they were in the last game. Again, now it's Instinct and Sword getting more jungle attention instead of mobility and Smoothie, and they're turning those into kills. So that's something that I think FlyFam can be playing towards, especially in these objective fights. You still have a lot of range, you still have a lot of poke, you just have to be careful of the all-in from EGC, because they have a lot of all-in Kangas. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I think that's one way to identify this composition.
Yes. All in all the time. Some kind of acronym like ARAM or ARUV.
The cool thing about Evil Genius's comp is that it's not like full committal all in. They have the Sejuani ult, they have the Ashe ult. Those are two big non-committal engage tools that once those land, they can go all in. But they don't even need to go for these big fights early on in the game. It's just Shaden controlling the jungle, gets the second dragon, and FlyFam are catching their waves under their turrets while this is happening. The Kassadin really is starting to feel like a big bait. It's just not giving them any priority in the mid lane, and it's not scaling fast enough. They're falling decently behind. Although, I mean, I guess maybe not fully. As I say that, I'm realizing they're not like too far behind in gold directly, but it's just putting a lot of pressure on Blaze in the late game to really step up.
Exactly, and then part of the problem is all that pressure early just extends the timer, like we talk about. You build Rod of Ages, I might have to hold that thought.
Yeah, Shaden goes for another gank in the top lane. Lunacia, even with the dominance, just not even close to enough of a health bar.
No, I mean, this is a Kindred that already has Kraken's Lair, has 4 marks, which means that first buff has come through here for Shaden, and you got to imagine, oh wow, Soul's backing. I think Shaden's just gonna get solo plate goal too. So this Kindred is just incredibly fed right now for EGC.
I think FlyFam have to make something happen bot now. They have Goo around. They have a setup for a dive, but are they gonna pull the trigger? If observers can take a look at the bot lane, I think that's where the action is gonna happen next here. There's the bouncy grenade. Stun lands onto Smoothie. They got the damage down. Goo is in. Has a cyclone.
Teleport.
Smoothie's dead. Teleport coming in. It's stopped. Robbie Bob was silenced, so cannot make it in. Soul is here, though. Soul had the foresight to roam down early. And top lane, Lunacia shut down onto Shaden. That's what I'm talking about, FlyFam.
Right, has the Blade of the Rune King. Picked up for Lunacia, is able to get the shutdown. I mean, ultimately, it is a nice injection of gold into this top laner, but they need a lot more than that, Kangas. Because realistically...
hey, it's a start beatdown.
You know what?
Start.
Fair, you know what? Fair enough. I'll give you that. It is a start. And what I wanted to talk about earlier, though, a concern I have is after this replay, of course, where Lunacia goes in immediately, and if you're this Renekton, you're like, took a tower shot. You're looking mighty killable at the moment here. Oh my god, I think Shaden had no mana for the ult too. Yeah.
I mean, even if you had enough mana, I still think you probably
lose
die there. It would have been much closer, but yeah. Shaden, one turret shot too many, is hard punished by Lunacia, but they also get the kill bot lane. Smoothie falls. I didn't see who picked it up. I think it was Goo. Picked up that kill.
I also think it was Goo.
A little more gold in their pockets. This is how you start to mount the comeback. And I know I said it was a lot of pressure. Late game is not where FlyFam have been showing that they perform the best. But Blaze is on the Kassadin. In late game scenarios, this champion can do insane things.
So here's the thing, though. My concern is that Blaze just finished the Rod of Ages a minute ago now. Only has 1 stack. And it's going to be 9 more minutes until that's fully stacked. You're still waiting to get that Seraph's Embrace, the tier of which he is still stacking, and that being the only component he has. Blaze was put so far behind because of Shaden's attention there at level 3 and Robbie Bob's subsequent solo kill and all the pressure he's been under there. And Shaden, this one's personal.
No. Shaden's like, this is what happens when I got full mana plus red buff, blue buff, baby. What you going to do about it? It's revenge for the previous 1v1.
That's right. Blaze getting alone time, I think, in the side lane is really good for him. He's reached level 11, has that level 2 on the Rift Walk. But if you're FlyFam, you need this game. You need to hold the line at this point. You need to minimize your losses so that Blaze can get to that 2-item mark around 25 minutes where he's going to have the Roa fully stacked as well. That's when this Kassadin is that nightmare pick. Until then, I mean, Blaze, he's just going to hope he can farm up as much as he can.
If we had a gold graph, though, and we could show it, obviously, unfortunately, we don't, but we
Yeah,
did look at the gold in here. This works for the most part. Most of this gold advantage that EGC have right now has been earned in the last 3 minutes.
Yep.
Last time I really checked in on the gold, it was within, what, 500 differential between the two teams. Now that's a 3,000 differential. EGC have exploded in this mid-game, and they are looking to direct all that force towards FlyFam's bridge. They are going for this bottom turret now.
They're going after the construction company.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And it's
some
tough
TNT
to
demolition going on here.
Yeah, exactly. And they have another Rift turret to play with, which means that mid turret shouldn't be a problem. FlyFam want to stop the Soul Point. I don't think they realize how quickly this dragon is going down.
I don't think it's necessary to go for this.
Yeah.
Okay, Chain of Corruption out onto Soul. Blaze getting 1v1 by Robbie Bob on the side. You have a level 11 Kassadin, now level 12, so you're kind of a champ now, but you're still only on one item. I think you really want Blaze
stacked.
to at least be at Seraph's before you go for a dragon fight. Instant cleanse from Instinct, but still followed up by the Root. Sword in trouble as he also got hit by something. I didn't even notice what locked him down, but either way, Sword is out of there.
I think it was the Kindred E. But taking Sword out of the picture there means this Herald comes through. That's going to be 2 turrets, to be honest. Goo can't do anything about this. He's got to just walk away, and EGC are going to have an easy time just taking yet another turret. And it's just more gold in their favor. Objective bounties are on the table for FlyFam, and this isn't what they needed to do. Again, you're trying to minimize your losses so that Blaze can, well, stack up, scale up. But at this point, it's starting to look like he will never get that opportunity because I think at this point, the way FlyFam win these skirmishes,
oh no.
Okay, he's out.
Yeah, Instinct a little far forward there, thinking that he had room to push another wave.
Oh, don't go that way. Don't go that
you
way.
don't have the turrets mid lane. Shaden sees an angle and takes it.
All right. Kangas,
Okay, Goose here.
I know you're
Wait.
a positive. Oh, we might have to hold this yet. Oh, he's just Q's over the wall.
He's fine. Oh, okay. They didn't get out though.
Oh, wait.
Goose going for it. Flashes in.
got
Gets
ult.
another knock-up.
Oh,
Lambs
give it to
respite.
Blaze. Give it to Blaze.
If
Give it to
Blaze
Blaze.
gets this is huge. Give it
Oh
to the
my
hyper
God.
late game carry. Shut down to Blaze.
That's incredible. Like, Kangas, it doesn't get better than that. I'm going to be real with you here.
It really doesn't.
FlyFam, and what I was going to talk about before that happened was that these fights, realistically, we talk about Shaden, his dynamic on the team, especially with the champs that he plays. A lot of gold went to his pocket in this early game. A lot of this lead we see is on this Kindred. So you get another pick like that before a major objective. Well, that 5,000 gold deficit FlyFam are in, not nearly as bad as it sounds. In fact, I'm
that's
pretty
Seraph's.
sure they're even.
Blaze just
and
got
that's
Seraph's.
Seraph's. Blaze getting the shutdown too.
If you're rooting for FlyFam, you spam chat. Thanks, Instinct. He was the bait. He pulled Shaden into a sense of overconfidence. And now Blaze is online here. Level 13, 3 levels away from the massive spike of a Kassadin. Soul? They didn't see him. Okay. Well, now Soul just appears out of nowhere, and FlyFam's like, how did we not spot this guy? They get over the wall. They should be fine. Shaden does not have to land their spite. It's actually taking a lot of damage here. Blaze.
Oh, Blaze is feeling
jumping
himself
in there. Ooh, Curtain Call almost took down Goo. But, okay, you see the difference that Blaze is already able to make just with that shutdown gold with that item completed.
Yeah, it's nice. He's approaching level 16. He's approaching supernova levels of power here. And the nice thing, too, is when you finish that Roa, you get a level up. So Blaze will be even closer to level 16. And you're seeing the gold difference. Again, FlyFam down 5k gold. Shaden up 4,000 gold. You see what I'm getting at here? You take this Kindred out of the picture, especially with that Lamb's Respite having such an insanely long cooldown. these fights look fantastic for you. They're looking mighty playable all of a sudden.
And Robbie Bob's a lot of the other gold. Lysandra, not necessarily known as the biggest gold stacking threat. More of a facilitator. Yeah, she still can do a lot of burst damage, especially if you get it onto like Sword or Instinct. But I don't think she's one shot in Lunacia Goo Blaze at this point.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so it's crazy that we're at this point beatdown. The entire narrative that we've been painting for FLYF is good early mid game, usually flounder at big, play late game, and then lose.
Dude, what a story.
It's the complete opposite
I was gonna
in this game.
How nuts would it be if they come back in the late game to make the win? All they needed to do was to Uno reverse their problems, apparently. We're not there yet.
You've activated the trap card.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the big thing to look for, everybody, if you're a FLYF fan, is the 25-minute mark on the game clock, because that's around when Blaze will have the Roa fully stacked, and that's when he's feeling real good about himself.
Lunacia in a 1v2, now a 1v3, might have enough damage to take down Robbie Bob, flashes away, Shaden can continue the chase, Soul with an easy Glacial Prison, and that is a dead Crocodile.
Yeah, well played
Not
for
known
Robbie.
for liking the cold, you know? Yeah, I think Lysandra says you want
That's
to
right,
kind of
warm-blooded creatures, right?
They're cold-blooded, but you got
they are cold-blooded. It makes them fall asleep then, right? Because they're reptiles?
Hey, you know what? That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Hello? Okay, Blaze and Goo are here. That's a big engage to start things off, but do they have the damage to follow it up? That's an early Lamb's Respite.
Looks good.
This is really big from FlyQuest. Blaze can do this. He's in there. Level 13, not quite where he needs to be, but he just one-shots mobility. Double kill to Blaze. Do you believe in the FlyFam late game? They're somehow making it work. Robbie Bob's in. Right as I was saying, you don't necessarily have the threat of Lysandra. Well, who was in danger? The squishy members. As who Robbie Bob gets on top of. Lunacia has teleported in. This could be Dragon. This was the soul fight, and FlyFam just won it.
It doesn't get any better than this, Kangas. This was a great play from FlyFam, from Goo and Blaze. And now at this point, I mean, you're almost at your big power spikes as the Kassadin, and look at the damage. Smoothie almost instantly loses his life, and you know it as Blaze. Now Lamb's Respite goes down, and there is no more comfort for the side of EGC. Blaze he's in the building, everybody. He's made it to that point as far as I'm concerned.
He's not even at the big power spike. That was level 13 Kassadin. Imagine what a level 16 Kassadin will do in this moment. And yes, Robbie Bob cleans one up to close things out, but the Dragon goes to FlyFam. We saw it in the picture-in-picture as the replay ends here. So, oh no, right as we say it, Blaze hit by an Ash Air. Now the curtain call. He's out of range though. He gets away. I think that's Baron though. Without their Heimerdinger, it's so hard. Maybe Goo can look for the steal.
It's tough. Blaze also can't, he doesn't have teleport, so he has to back to get his HP back, but they gotta let this one go, unless Goo can go for a legendary steal, but Robbie Bob is playing interference, and there's no time.
I think if you're FlyFam, if you go for the steal and lose it, that's probably game.
Yeah.
Because then EG will have a 5v3, and they can just push into the base, so... Hey, I mean, you can still try and funnel XP onto your Kassadin. You're one level away. FlyFam just need to hold the line. The bridge is swaying back and forth, but it has not fallen in on its weight yet. Yeah, the Death Brush.
Another bush play. This has worked so well before.
Scary. There's a lot of members of EG here, but they just burst Robbie Bob immediately down. That's the Lamb's Respite used by Shaden. Goo cannot get out, though. Locks him back up. Blaze is still in there. Shaden's doing the damage. Blaze goes gold, and now the backup is here. Soul hit by the Chain of Corruption. Throws out the Glacial Prison. Gets out alive. Oh, they're going back. They want more. This is insanity.
Oh, Lunacia's here. He popped the Dominus.
Watch for Smoothie on the side. Yeah, Lunacia can't get in there. I think EG are out. Oh, a game of inches right there.
Right, and it's these bush plays. Again, Blaze and Goo, they just keep finding the angles, these pockets of darkness, to be able to pop out. Because your surprise factor as this mid-jungle duo is just as important as the damage and skills that you pop to get these kills. Because before members of EGC can even realize, suddenly you're dead. Because take a look, before Shaden even gets the chance, he even jumps the wall, tries to use the Lamb's Respite, but is not quick enough. And although they managed to get things back in the process, I mean, Blaze used the stopwatch very well. Once that becomes a Zanya's, he's going to be able to continuously make plays like this, Kangas. And at this point, I'm sure when the replay's over, he'll hit level 16. And that's it.
Yeah.
The boxes have been checked.
If Blaze is 16 in that fight, Shaded dies 10 times out of 10. Like, there's no way that he survives 2 more Kassadin ults. We're back to live. He is level 16, but as we see it, Nasia's down. Instinct immediately cleanses, taking a lot of damage. That's another Chain of Corruption onto Soul, trading the health bar, but Soul's feeling fine. EG still have the Baron. They're pushing forward. There can't be much time left on this buff, though.
No, less than a minute. Inhibitor will go.
Okay.
There should be an easy way out of here. Nothing to really play for at the moment, but it's brutal because you get a lot of extra gold in your pockets from all the turrets and things they take on the side of EGC, and also Dragon is going to be up soon, and you have that bot wave auto-pushing. So even though they stopped the Soul, FlyFam, they have to do it again. Luckily, Blaze is here, baby. 3 items. Zanya's one of them.
This is what Developmental League is all about. This is what the NACL is all about. The Challengers League. These young players coming in, looking for this level of experience. You don't get this kind of experience in solo queue. You don't get to this state. Your junglers FFing, your support's running it down, your top laner's flaming you. If you're in solo queue.
You know the big thing? If this is solo queue, the Kassadin will be the one asking for the FF.
You know what? That's true.
Isn't that crazy?
This is 5v5s. This is the experience that FlyFam has been grinding out of all the losses in the late game. They were scaling the whole time. Now, can Blaze make it happen? It could come down to one more fight here. We are going to get another Dragon Soul fight.
We'll see. Who and Blaze, it looks like. Not Blaze, Sword. Another Bush play coming through. They have some semblance of vision on their own side, and because there's about 30 seconds, they have that chance to push it. And like you said, game of inches, just inch by inch, they're going to try and get what vision they can, because remember, you're walking into things like Frozen Tomb, Glacial Prison, my god, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. So instead, FlyFam, I like this choice. They just walk through bottom lane instead.
Oh, he's hit by the arrow and he's going to die again. Yeah, I saw him pushing mid, and everyone else from FlyQuest was seeing bot lane. That gave Evil Geniuses so much information. They knew that Lunasia was all alone, and they fully capitalized on it from the Fog of War. And I think the FlyFam are saying, let's give up the soul. Yeah, they're not going to take the 4v5. Okay, Blaze, he's got to get out now.
He'll get out.
Is he? Yeah, okay. He's fine. But they're giving up the soul, so Evil Geniuses, they get the dragon finally. And FlyFam say, let's live to fight another day. It's going to be tougher to fight now against that buff, but at least they don't lose here.
Right. And there is a potential play for Elder. I mean, like, again, Blaze is in a really strong position. You still have decent team fight overall. It's just about whether or not Goo's going to be able to get the setup. Has enough space to be able to get the Cyclone off and get a lot of CC so they can get members like Mobility and Smoothie shaded very quickly, because as fed as this Kindred is, they're very squishy. So Shaden, if they get the drop on him, they will be able to take him out. And again, he is the big part of the gold lead here.
Shaden has Flame Horizon twice now. He spots Goo and Sword. Another Ash Arrow lands onto Sword. This could just be it.
That's it.
The picks from Evil Geniuses Challengers are too strong. They know where they are allowed to be on the Rift, and FlyFam do not. Evil Geniuses Challengers. Shaden's over the wall. He's just diving right in. He's just going to solo Lunasia. 1v2 onto Instinct. Cleanse is used. Flash is used. Blaze says, hey, I'm a level 17 cast, and that means I'm a threat, right? And Shaden says, nah, I'm the threat. You might have been building a bridge. We don't mind getting a little wet. We don't give a damn. As Evil Geniuses Challengers will push into the base, taking these inhibitors. That's 2 down, about to be 3, and FlyFam have 2 members alive defending. Now Sword has respawned, but they're on the Blaze. He's got the Zonias. He's still alive. He'll get stunned immediately out of it. He's still alive. FlyFam, they're holding the line.
Oh, they're holding it barely, Kangas, because now they've lost all 3 inhibitors. At this point, it's down to the Hail Mary. You're seeing the teleport come through. Blaze is going to be in the area where the Baron is. I wonder if they know.
He's looking for the flank. Blaze is looking for the flank. Let's get the observers over there. We got to get eyes on him. Is he spotted? I mean, EG, I think, are just
The
going for the
pink
Baron.
ward,
I don't think that
maybe?
they know Blaze is
It's the
there.
push play.
Goo, don't go in. Oh, no. Goo, Soul's there, pushing down to Goo. He's rooted up. Now Soul rooted in response. Blaze is still in the pit. Now he's spotted. Okay, now Evil Genius says no. Hey, there's a Kassadin over here. Hawkshot sees him. He's trying to get back. And I think it'll come down to another fight. They're just going to give the Baron.
Yeah, they have to. At this point, like you called it earlier, you go for the flip, you lose, it's GG. If you hold it down a little longer, then maybe you can win a fight that's more in your favor. And Kangas, this is brutal. 10K up, and at this point, a lot of other members of EGC are the ones who are getting more gold into their pockets as well. They've reached a lot of critical late game spikes. And at this point, to be fair, FLYF in a lot of these skirmishes, they haven't had a chance to fight as a full 5. More often than not, Smoothie, with a well-placed arrow, manages to pick off someone like Lunacia, and he barely gets to participate. The thing about this Renekton build, too, you do a lot of damage, but you are very squishy.
I was wondering the reason behind it, because it seemed like very early on we could have identified Blaze as the win condition. But FlyFam, they're going to have to go for a miracle to end all miracles. It's got to be Goo with the biggest engage. Lunacia with the flank onto some of the damage dealers. But instead, Lunacia might just get picked. Flashes away.
Okay, that's one ult.
That is one. Ash Arrow.
That's two.
Lands again. It is once again Sword, who's just picked off. Shaded, locked down. Blaze is onto the back line. Blaze is looking at Robbie Bob. Can he get in there? That's a big combo. Goo's doing it, but mobility as the threat now. The Jhin just untouched, doing so much damage with those crits, and the substitute AD carry for Evil Geniuses stands when Shaden falls. Evil Geniuses challengers. They had to work for it a little bit harder this time around, but they will get the ace. Mobility with the 4th kill of the game, and they will end their week 2-0.
Ending the week with a bang as Evil Geniuses take another commanding game. FlyFam, Kangas, they gave us some hope. We thought maybe there was a chance, but it wasn't quite enough yet.
Incredible from FlyFam for trying that hard and getting that close, but Evil Geniuses challengers, they're undefeated this weekend, beatdown. That is a 4-0 weekend from Evil Geniuses. That is how you want to end your run as a substitute player. Say, no, let's end on a high note. No more of this 50-50 stuff. We can get the team into the best spot. Shoutouts to Robbie Bob and Mobility subbing in. Mobility will be around for probably the whole split, at least for most of it. Robbie Bob, great performances. And then everybody else on the team sticking in it and getting across that finish line. Well done from Evil Geniuses.
Right, and I think this just kind of goes from our segment from earlier where it was cash or trash, where Cubby had that take, where FlyFam should have 3 wins already, and I feel like this is just kind of continuing on with what we've been talking about with this team. New roster, a lot of these players, not all, but a lot are new to this level. So much like Team Liquid, you got to give them that grace. And in time, they could show us a lot of high highs. And we've already seen them get pretty close to it as well.
And I got to say, FlyFam's the best 1-9 team that I've ever seen. Like, they are so close to
They might be the only 1-9 team right now.
There's a chance. I don't know how CLG Faith's games went. But FlyFam, there's a lot to be excited for with this team. A lot of cool prospects, but at the end of the day, it is Evil Genius Challengers with more veteran experience, with Shaden playing out of his mind. Just hard carrying so many of these games. But with that said, we will be sending it to a short break before we are back with an interview. And I hear that we will have a chance to chat with Robbie Bob on his last day here, subbing in for the Challengers League. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Hello everyone and welcome to our Verizon post-game interview. I'm going to be talking with Robbie Bob, who's been subbing in on EG Challengers and doing a really great job of it. You normally play for the University of St. Thomas, I believe. Yes. And this is the highest level of competition you've really played at so far. How's that experience been like for you?
Oh, it's definitely been a challenge per se. Like, obviously, it's a big jump up, right, from collegiate and amateur. Like, all the players are just mechanically more sound, and obviously the teams are more coordinated. So, obviously, I'm coming in and filling in for some big shoes, right? But I hope I did pretty well, and I definitely learned a lot.
I mean, in that last game, you got your solo kill, you got a 2-0 to be ending off the week and stuff as well. How do you feel about your own performance in Challengers, being the fact that you were stepping in for Ioma? That is some huge shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like huge improvement. Like I feel a lot more confident about my play and just calling like anything. Like for example, like the Galio game, like some of those plays that I went for, like I was so confident and I was so ready. Even if like for some reason I just died instantly, I felt good that I was making a right play and sending my team over.
It's all about the improvements. We talk about that with the players that are in the league, and that applies to mobility as well. So I love to hear that. So with these improvements that you've seen in yourself, what do you think has been that biggest thing that you've learned, the biggest thing you're going to take away from this experience?
Well, I'm definitely going to cherish this moment. You don't always, like a lot of players, dream to play in, like, I still consider this academy, even though it's challengers, right? Like, you're under like a pro org, and that's most people's dreams when they're on amateur, and it's definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm definitely going to take it and hold it to heart.
And having this opportunity that a lot of people at level don't necessarily get, is there anything in particular that you're going to be taking back to your team to try and get them to level up a little bit too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back and playing with my collegiate team for amateur, so I'm hoping taking back, my confidence, really. Like, my confidence is extreme high. Not saying like I'm egoing out here just because I got a solo kill, but just like making plays and coordinating my team together, and hopefully that leads to a lot of wins.
Okay, to be proud of what you've accomplished and what you've been able to learn. So, not an ego. That's only some good stuff. Then, for your own journey as well, you talked about the fact that being able to play in Challengers has been a dream that some players will never be able to get. Obviously, play for your collegiate team now. What is your future hold in terms of League of Legends? Is this something you'd like to pursue, or is this kind of an opportunity that was given but you've got other plans?
I would just definitely like to play again at this level. Like it's super fun. It's so competitive, right? Like everybody's trying to win, and it's just like you can feel your growth like from game to game, and having like that growth is just like it just makes you want to keep growing and keep going for every win, right? Like, and every loss, like in scrims, like we try to take something back from the game, and even if it was hard and rough some points, right? Everybody is just trying to make me as well as I can and fit as well as with the team, and I definitely would want to return to that at some point.
Well, hopefully we can see that happen, because that would definitely be exciting. Before I let you go, it's been really awesome seeing you here on EG Challengers. Is there any final words that you have? Any shout outs? The floor is here.
Well, definitely shout out to Evil Geniuses. I mean, everybody there was super supportive. Like literally everybody. Like it was such a nice environment. Like even though sometimes, like I said, it got really competitive, everybody there was really supportive, and I couldn't have asked for much more. And then obviously shout out to my collegiate teammates, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Like I wouldn't have looked as well as I did, and probably wouldn't have stood out as much as I could have. So shout out to them, and yeah, really like shout out again to Evo Geniuses. Like it was such a fun time, and it was great to be here.
Robbie Bomb, it has been a pleasure. Take care. Hopefully we'll get to see you again.
Thank you.
As for us, before we get started with our last series of the day, we're going to take a quick break. Good opportunity to get a snack, get a drink, but be back in your seats soon.